Welcome to the Daily Coffee Program Map It Forward, friends. Today on the podcast, we're talking about the pain of being fired. In the last episode, we spoke about the pain of firing people. Today, we're exploring the other side of that, what it looks like when you are being fired. Again, I want to reiterate, I'm not talking about a specific, this is how everybody feels. This is not how everybody feels. I'm talking in more general terms and the pain points, not just when it comes to feelings, but the whole gambit of things that come with being fired, particularly in a COVID era. We are experiencing unprecedented numbers of unemployment in our industry. In a strange time, coffee is being consumed more than it really ever has been. And we've seen a shift from the cafe being a place where people consume brewed coffee to people brewing coffee in their homes and going to supermarkets or online subscriptions to purchase their coffee. As a result, we're seeing on a daily basis more and more cafes having the financial stress break the camel's back, and they have to close for good. This is a devastating situation for all of us. We're seeing our industry flattened for a second time through this pandemic as shutdowns start to occur again. The first time that this happened, the 15th of March this year, 2020, there was a panic and an overall hopefulness that somehow we will figure this out. There was this idea that this will go down and in a couple of months we will all be fine. Now, with the second round of shutdowns, what we're seeing is that there is a soberness that's coming to many people that didn't believe that this was going to be something that would be long term and that our industry has changed forever. With that soberness comes the reality that the role of the barista, the role of many employees in our industry is shifting rapidly and has shifted forever. And with that knowing comes a sense of, what do I do now? And for people who are experiencing the very real repercussions of being fired, that uncertainty is enormous to deal with because it wasn't at their own hand. They are at the mercy of the business that they're working for being able to stay viable, and that business owner is at the mercy of an industry that's collapsed under something that they had no control over. This is a really messy situation. And if you're an employee in this industry, a lot of people entered the industry misguided in the notion that this was a well-established, thought-out, sustainable industry, and have come to realize that it's not. The reality of it is that we happen to be a dysfunctional family that happened to survive because we serve an important service in the hospitality industry. And we serve a function to people that they enjoy. Let me replace the word important with enjoyable. We serve an enjoyable purpose in the world. We make people their coffee, and people see coffee as an essential item, which it's not. But the community that comes with purchasing a coffee and the caffeine that comes with purchasing a good coffee is important to people. So whether it's essential or not is irrelevant. An important industry is collapsing under the pressure of COVID-19. And as a consequence of that, coffee professionals are losing their jobs without any thought out plan of what happens next. And the integral factor in that is uncertainty. We don't know how long this situation is going to last. It could be 6 months. It could be years. We don't know. And so as the second surge of the first wave of this pandemic happens, the feeling isn't necessarily panicked. The feeling now that I'm starting to see in many, many people that are being laid off is anger. And that anger is being cultivated from a number of sources. Some of it misplaced when it's being expressed, some of it not. Some of it avoidable, some of it not. But this is a time for you as an employee, whether you have your job or not. This is a time of action. Some people are taking that action and vomiting their hate and anger all over other people. Others that I'm seeing are taking that anger and using it as an action, as a fuel for action into ventures that could sustain them. And they're doing that by finding problems that need to be solved and solving them while monetizing those situations at the same time. This is not a time for coming up with get-rich-quick schemes. This is a time for figuring out how much money you need to live and finding a way to create a solution, whether it be on a local or global level, that you can make enough money that keeps you surviving over the next few years. It is one of those times in history where a lot of things are being decided for you. You are not in a unique situation in that the majority of people in your workforce are also getting laid off, which makes you finding another job incredibly difficult. That doesn't mean that they're not out there. So find opportunities that work for you, whether they're entrepreneurial opportunities or work employment opportunities. Getting fired can feel like another form of rejection, whether you want to admit that or not, especially when you're in a situation where one or two people are left behind in the organization that you're working for, but you weren't selected to be one of them. Getting fired sucks. It sucks when it's for a bad reason, and it sucks even more when you're getting fired for no fault of your own and somebody says, look, this is a good reason. Like, I'm firing you with the hope that I can employ you again one day, but I don't know if I will be able to. They think that that's a good reason to fire you. It sucks either way. If you feed into the anger and follow the destructive form of that anger, recovering from that is going to be a ginormous effort. And you can get lost in the victimhood of that. What you can do as an alternative is understand what you need and understand where more opportunities lie. Because while you are down and being destructive and vomiting hate all over people on the internet, that is going to stay there for years, by the way, that future employers will look at. Other people are out there who aren't contributing to that onslaught of hate, and they're going and taking jobs that you could be considered for. The pain of being fired is real. But in every painful situation is an opportunity for you to grow and to reinvent yourself and to catapult yourself so that you jump beyond the circumstances that you're in into greater heights. Is it going to be hard? 1,000%. Are you going to be a different person on the other side of that? Absolutely. And are you alone? No. There's plenty of help out there for you. People who want to be proactive in being better people, creating a better circumstance for themselves, doing more. You will always find people that want to support you for that. I hope this has been helpful. And I hope that you're all staying safe and healthy. Peace, love, and peanut butter, friends. Have an amazing rest of your day.